Hello, my name is Kyla Glasser, and I teach at Off Junior High in Searcy, Arkansas. And Strive has taught me about opportunities for my students that are in my hometown, and I never knew about them before. My goal now is to make sure my students know about them. So I was part of the Strive summer PD in 2020 when everything was virtual, and I knew that I wanted this to be a part of my professional development again. So this past summer in 2023, I was partnered with Ridout Lumber Company in my own backyard, literally like 2 minutes away from my house. Um, I thought I knew what Ridout did before I worked there, but I was so wrong. The manager, Brian Covington, had me in every possible position that I could be in. And he taught me all these different things about that. So I worked from the front counter, I worked in the yard, I worked going out on job sites and manager for a day and working with house plans. So I learned something new every day while I was there. I did a lot of interviewing of the employees. So every employee there was fantastic. I got to spend my days talking to them and asking them about what STEM skills they use in their daily life and what skills I should be teaching my students to help them be successful in the workforce after high school and in college. And this was eye-opening on what I really needed to focus on. I already used a lot of teamwork and collaboration in my classroom, but now I use even more because repeatedly these people at Rideout kept telling me that the most important thing for them to know is to be able to work with people. They could teach them, they said, we can teach them the computer skills or the job specific skills, but if they don't know how to work together as a team, we can't teach them that. So Rideout and Searcy truly is a team. And I felt very welcome and included as part of that team. And some of the most memorable experiences there were days when we had over 100 doors to unload when it was over 100 degrees. And this was for a hotel order that we had. And so we had to get those off the truck and into the door shop. Then we also had the Department of Transportation and the Arkansas State Police come and show how to safely tie down loads onto the trucks. And that brought in people from all over, from all of the Arkansas Rideout locations, not just the Searcy location, to go through that training. Went out on different job site visits, delivered shingles, rode the 18-wheeler all the way to Hot Springs. I loved it. And I loved seeing how the house plans turned into an order and then seeing those supplies show up at the job site and then seeing them being used. It was just fulfilling to see it from start to finish. So that was just an amazing experience for me. So while I was there, one day I worked with the lady, Miss Bonnie, who worked in Windows, and she was telling me all about the different places that she's worked before and what led her to Searcy. And so I chose to bring back some of the things that she was talking about. So we have this standard in 8th grade science that says develop and use a model to describe that waves are reflected, absorbed, or transmitted through various materials. So as I'm talking to Miss Bonnie, she's telling me about how different regions in the U.S. have different requirements on what goes on their windows. And it has to do with how much energy and how much light can transmit through those different materials and the different filters on the light. And she even talked to me about how in Florida they have glass, it's called turtle glass, that if you live in certain coastal areas, you have to have that to prevent the light from inside your house going out, so the sea turtles basically don't get lost at night and go to the wrong lights. So I thought, oh, this would be a great project. So I used my money that I received through grants through Strive to order different window sets and the different samples of windows and UV lights and these light bulbs that are called radiometers that spin when they are in the presence of UV lights, and even got thermometers to measure temperatures. And so I had my students test the different lights and the different filters. And so they had these different window panes and they were measuring temperatures on each side of the window to see how much light came through. And then they were given a region and had to decide, oh, this is the one that I should use in this region based on the light that comes through. So I had a pre-test and post-test. So this data here shows the data about wave behavior. And so how they knew what was happening to those lights, if it was being reflected or refracted or transmitted. So this was the before and this was the after. So on average, my students increased their knowledge on the science content pieces by 4 points each. I also did a lot of STEM skills with them working together and real world situations and the application and problem solving. And so I had a survey that was more this test right here was multiple choice. So my survey was just having them type their thoughts about things. And so some of the quotes that came from that survey were keep doing group work. The labs and working together make this class better than others. This class is interactive and applies to real life. So those were things that it was showing this impact on my students and how my students were learning. And so that's also changed me in my classroom, where I know that I need to apply more real world situations and more group work. So I've got here pictures of different group work that I do in my classroom, and it's taught me to be forward thinking and to give these students this passion for learning, because it's revived my passion for learning. And so it's wanting me to pass that on, that love of learning, onto my students. And so all in all, I would absolutely 100% say that students and teachers benefit from the Strive program, and business owners benefit from the Strive program. I'm even trying to talk my husband into having his business join as a business partner. So Strive is a fantastic program. Thank you.